So guys, this is just a quick time lapse at the start. I hope you understand that this is just a brief time lapse. It's going to be on for the next minute, showing you what I was doing before the episode, and then we'll have the episode. If you're not interested in watching this time lapse though, feel free to skip ahead. It is only a minute long anyway, and well, to be honest, we've already nearly made the 30-second line of that minute, so if you want to watch the last bit of it, go ahead. If not, skip ahead just another 30 seconds from now, and it'll be at the end. Thank you. So guys, welcome back to another episode where today, well, I'm happy to say we built our giant battery bank and we're gonna get to see how well that goes. We built this in anticipation of having a lot of factory work. I spent a lot of time getting the heat regulation in here right, and you might be wondering why. I'm gonna explain this now, just for those that don't know. Especially with batteries, you want to make sure that the temperature in the room is well balanced. It has to be dialed in perfectly, and that's because of the weird mechanic in the game that if you have a well balanced heat system anyway, even though in real life batteries can go up to 60 degrees Celsius, they wear down slightly less, so it reduces it so much little amount, but it's still something to reduce. So it's a tiny amount that we're going to get out of that, but it is necessary to ensuring that one, the rooms don't go above a certain heat, and two, that hopefully, I would hope, that the batteries in this building aren't going to implode. So what I need to do quickly is I need to get all of these floors. I've just noticed some of them aren't actually painted. So what we're going to quickly do is we'll go into interior and select on this. There we go. So we got some basic fire prevention in here. I am confident that it will pass the test. So we're going to turn the day speed up to 2. And we're going to look at this. How much can we store? Oh, quite a lot. Okay. So what are we looking at? What I do need to do, and I do realize this, is link these buildings together. So the way I'm going to do this for now, it's going to be a bit cheaty this, but we're going to do it. So we're going to have a standard grid that goes up to here, like that. And it's going to be like that, solid. And then I'm going to have the same to here. So from you over there, has to be within our plot boundaries. Oh, it seems to know that I haven't got that land. Okay. Go to there, and then from there up to here. Okay. And then we can link these together. And by making them solid structures and not walkables, I don't have to worry about fire prevention. I will link these together as well, just to make sure that the power lines link. Now that could make some issues with the buildings if they're not using all of their resources. Necessarily, they'll all now be combined, as you can see when I click across them. So one could actually say this is great because some buildings aren't using their heat pumps much and some are, but the downside and the upside are just a hard balance here. But I'm fine with it. We are going to get it all consolidated into one unit though, so that's actually going to help us measure it a lot more efficiently. And what I'm seeing here is we're actually doing quite well. So I'm hoping really if we can sustain that power build up and not waste anything, we should be fine. That's what I'm thinking. Right, let's go into this building and we want to have a quick look at this. Look at how productive that now is. It looks so good now because you can see how it's getting them out really efficiently. And I do like seeing them just going in and not backing up anywhere because they can't. Once they've been made into the controller parts and assembled, it's double the amount that's needed. So it's always going to be getting them through no matter what. Looks so good. Right. Let's not fascinate over the fact that I've built a production line, because that was the idea, build a production line. It does look very well organised though. Reminds me of Factorio and the car mechanic game. I can't remember the name of that now. Car production line? Is it something like that? Reminds me of that, when we used to stream that back in the day. God, that is such an old game. I doubt it's got much interest around it, otherwise I would do a series on it. How's the market doing? It looks pretty stable, so I'll invest in UOT. I don't know why I said OUT then. UOT, and we'll put... I'll invest a fair bit. 6 million. Alright, and we'll just see how well that goes. I'm going to skip ahead. So we are only printing a limited amount in this building, and I'm conscious that we are printing and costing ourselves a lot right now. However, if we make 5 million of these, which is almost done, to be fair. Hold on. Can I just make sure that priority is a bit higher, just in case I do anything else in here? Right. I will actually stop the printing on this in a second, but that's fine. So that's actually done. I'm going to speed up time. It's the Phoenix box that we need to get production on eventually, because that's going to be our console. It's going to cost us a big investment, and I'm aware that the first 2 versions of it, until we get full audience attention, are just not going to sell as much as, you know, some things will. But if we get it made, at least, we should be fine. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to let Midnight roll around. Okay, great. I'm going to go to Mafia, and I'm going to instruct them to port this now. And we've got these 2 platforms that we can put it on, and I'm going to get them to port that. And then that's on those. I did realise last episode, and I had wrote it down, and I just read over my notes. Right, let's have a quick look in here then. And we've charged not a single watt. Okay. I am a bit confused, but I'm also aware that, yeah, down here we are charging. It's going to be going floor by floor. It's working out which corner it's counting in from. Okay, how much we actually got stored? Not much. And how much we produce in a day, or an hour even? 28. Yeah, that's reasonable. Because we're consuming an equal amount at night. We're not filling up the batteries as quickly as I might want. But that's fine. It is 10 floors of batteries, so... And really, it's a small battery building. It's not like a giant one that I was planning on putting back here, but I wanted it on this road, so it's a straight line, nice and simple. You know, because we are kind of taking over the city quite a bit now. We've got 4 buildings now, and a lot of sites with windmills. But again, we need that wind power. And we're definitely going to be taking advantage of the wind power we make. Okay then. I want to actually check this. So that says that many kilowatts. How much are you making? So if I was to do simple math, right, say they're all making 39, and there's 29 of them making 39. You know what? I won't do it in my head. Alexa, 39 times 29.
131. By the way, you have a new notification. Do you want to hear it?
No. So what that tells me is these grids need all linking up. I'm going to have a struggle linking this one up. So what I'm going to need to do for that is buy this car park and this car park. And the reason we've realised that that's an issue is it's probably not sending the power around as efficiently as we might have hoped for. So what I'm going to do is go out one here. And then do that. And then try and... There we go. No. Do that. Okay. Right. And then build you to that. And you to here. Oops. Let's do that again, shall we? Right. This is just going to allow for all these grids to link up and ensure that they're all connected respectively. And then I need to... This one's going to be a bit more difficult to use this tool to get the angle I want, so I'll have to do it manually on this. You see, with that tool you can do quite a lot with it, but it isn't infallible and you can't blame the devs for that. The wall dragging is a very, very difficult thing to design, and I absolutely respect that they've managed to make it work. You know, if you do the wrong command like I just did then, I tried moving it, I didn't need to move it like that. That's a car park. So that should all now be linked for certain. So now we'll get an idea of if anything isn't linked in. It should all be linked. It shouldn't have an issue. And I can see the consuming and producing. Yeah, they're not changing too much. So, but it's not an issue. I do like seeing when the water spikes. That does make me go, I wonder what's doing that kind of thought in my head. But I've got to that point where I just don't care what's doing it. If it's doing it, it's doing it. Is what it is. Right, Phoenix Live. What I'm going to do is we're going to turn off you now. Right, so you're going out. And then this, in theory, just gets cancelled. Have I done that right? No, I've not. I know I just cancelled then, yeah. Hang on. I know I cancelled then. I cancelled our OS. I'm a big clown. Reopen that. Sure. Okay, bring that up here. And I think it has actually just taken over that. Yeah, so I didn't have to change any of these deals. Didn't have to change anything. It all just suddenly took over. Good. That's an improvement. So in the space of the last series and this series, they've clearly made it so you can develop your own live server again. And then when you release it, it just takes over, which is great. And we've got 8 million people on it overnight. That is a great thing to see, and it's absolutely inspiring. Right, update that by all means. The Phoenix itself has a lot of bugs that need fixing, so we'll give some time to that. Okay. Then I'm going to slow down time a second. We've got a lot of retirees going out. Okay, right. Let's see if we can, first and foremost, when did this release? Just now? Oh. How many copies has it got in stock? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not worrying about that. You've still yet to make another 2 million, which would get you into the good books of the company, as I'd like to nickname them. Gonna make an expansion. It's gonna work on the 3D dynamics that the game has and some audio. There we go. I'm gonna pick a name, and it's gonna be the Dora Fletcher. And I think everyone can see who I'm naming that after. Expansion. 20. Gonna put the cube on it like so. And then we're gonna put the AUX on it like so. And it needs to be assigned to the Mafia team, of course. And that way it can really get some work done. There we go. So the Dora Fletcher update is the first one we're naming after an employee. After all, we're almost at 95, so we might as well start following that idea and policy. Now, we haven't done the research for 93 on this. I'm just skipping years at this point. There's no immediate reason to worry about getting the research on the ball necessarily. It is a tradition, but I'm not too adhering to that right now. I do think sometimes we can just skip it the occasional year. As long as we don't, you know, not update the platform at all. Because that would be a bad thing to do. Okay, let's give it an update. 4 out of 4 categories I'm entertained now. We're the best employer, okay. We're the best product. The best designer. And the second most profitable company. Okay then, that's not bad. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that update out, and services has no longer got HR because he has finally retired. God, it's taken him forever. Everyone hates him on services, so I finally get to find them someone that they all can relate to. And hopefully all put up with as I adjust my chair, because recently they've all been complaining a lot. So that kind of change has been well needed, and that's what we're going to do. What I want to look at, and I'm coming to the room necessary, is this one. Who hasn't got any things? You guys. Okay. And we'll just take these down there. And then that way this office has their awards, and up here can have these. Right, I'm just going to use these shelves because it's a lot easier. Don't know why I've not been lately, but yeah, it's a lot easier using these, so let's... Oh wow, I've got quite a few of these actually in stock. Yeah, let's distribute this evenly. Okay, 91 for this floor then. We'll give it the 92 one, I guess, as well, just to give it that boost. We'll give it the 91 and 92 employer as well. Down here, we'll give it the 93. 93. And then back up to the top, you need this, this, and this. Great. Just spreading those awards out will just give us a bit of a boost. I'm going to build our museum at some point. I do like seeing the underground spaghetti connections now. Look at that. I don't like the shape it looks like, though. It just looks like some weird roots, but doesn't matter. Pause time, actually. Because I'm going to announce the Dora Fletcher expansion by means of saying, hey, in December this year, we're releasing a update that will be absolutely mind-blowing. That way we can kind of get that out and people will be like, oh, interesting. I'll subscribe to that. Don't know why my fans sound like a cartoon character. Right, so I need to get them actually their new HR leader now, and this isn't going to be an easy find because, as I'm going to show you, their compatibility is too low. Right. That needs to be good at human resources, socialization, and multitasking. And we're hiring them for the services team. And no matter who I choose, it's going to be pretty bad. Right. I think it's time we do ourselves a favor here. These two teams have absolutely no cohesion. They're the lowest of the lowest on our list. So, services, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna restructure the way this works. Right, all these teams should have their own internal services for the automation lines at least. So Phoenix Docks, I'm going to authorize that you can hire 12 people for that, and they can be in support and marketing by all means. Wolf, guard isn't automated, which means they've just been sat there doing nothing this whole time. That's fine. I'm going to automate the cube and wolf guard then. Okay. And then I'm going to hire a lead for services anyway. And then I'm going to try and just... Who's the best of the best? This person? Okay. How about we go with you, because... Oh, no. Yeah, you're better. Okay. And then in services, I want to lower the number of people we are hiring for this team by... We'll go down to 50. And their marketing and support. Right. And then Mr. Diaz, I'm going to tell you you're the leader, and that's going to open up all this. Okay. There'll be a lot of severance pay going out in a second, I'm aware of that. But that team needed restructuring, and unfortunately that's the only way you can restructure such a team. I love how somehow that's made these teams get their act together a bit more. Don't know how, but it seems to have made them get their act together. So, alright, the Dora expansion is really ready to get moving. So we'll do a press build on that. Get them trying to push it out for us, which would definitely be helpful. Indeed. Right. Press have announced it. It's gone like wildfire, that's great. And I'm aware that we're going to have a lot of backlog on some stuff right now, and I'm confident that this is gonna be a problem for a while. But even if I was to come in and go, hey, let's hire some support workers, right? So let's go in and try. Where this criteria and very compatible with services, that's actually not too bad, that range. 3 of them are great for the job. Not bad then, I did find someone. But they've got a lot to catch up on. Right, the Phoenix box, I'm going to press build on that. And we're going to hope nothing came out of that. Right, that's not great, but that's fine. Having no services compared to A services seems to have made us a little less efficient. I'll admit that. But looks like we're getting these done. Are we missing any of these? No, we're not. Okay. But those aren't... Oh. Hopefully, in the next few days, we can start seeing a better improvement on this. I mean, is there anything I can do? The services? No, they've got 23 tasks to which they are coming in and doing. I don't know what they're hiring on that team. Let's have a look. So we've got, I don't know what they're hiring, but 3 support personnel, 13 marketers. Right. So I'll hire some more support personnel. They're hiring based off task, which is fine. I guess the trait isn't helping, but yeah, I'm not too worried. I'm going to turn this on to 10 people, because I remember seeing in services that we had a lot of points that weren't being used. Right, the research for this is done, so we'll hand that off to our legal. I'm sure they'll take forever to do it because they have absolutely no cohesion on legal. Which ain't good. I know cohesion can be improved by having meetings and everyone having a biscuit and talking about their feelings, but to me that's not a meeting I would expect to be running every day. It kind of takes time out of the day to try and patch over stuff like that. And I just don't think it's worth having that happen. Now, what exactly is your skill, though? Okay, so he basically wants to go up to exclusive lead, which I'll give him. Absolutely, exclusive lead. There you go. Right. Is there any, like, announcements on our big firing wave? No, there's not. So that's not too bad then. At least the press isn't, like, out there going, they just fired hundreds of people. Outrageous. You know, at least they're not doing that. Okay, I think, guys, we can stop hiring marketers now, you know. Maybe just find me some support workers for now. 16 marketers to me seems efficient enough. But, service is gonna service. Right, looks like we are yet to have anyone on these teams. I think actually they won't hire anyone because some of these it is listed, some of these ain't. Right. We're in the bottleneck because all the cities, like, resources in these areas isn't exactly flamboyant, if I can put it that way. Okay. So the queues are going down, but I hope it's because the services got on it, and it looks like it is actually, so it's not because we missed anything. No, we've not missed anything, that's reassuring. Right. I know that that product got released. What's this? Select an entire team that's assigned to it. That's cool. I love when they add features and I don't check the logs, but I know they've updated the game. And then it's like, we can do even more stuff like checking where those teams are, if they're actually in, you know. Okay, please tell me this is no longer printing, because it shouldn't be. It's not from the looks of it, that's good to see. Right. That's good. Now we need to actually build the console, so we're going to quickly have a look in here now. And we're going to grab this. It's going to go past midnight. It's going to be a bit of a pain, this. I'm going to make it larger, if it will let me. So we need an antenna, a controller, device input, plastic and driver bay. It's pretty easy. And those are the ratios it's reckoning are necessary to make that functional. So we'll do that in a few minutes at the end, and then that'll wrap up the episode. I just want to let us get this out first, so we've got some money coming in, because we're in and out of the billion zone. How's our power situation? Going up. That's good. It's funny to think that because it's megawatts, we're making 1.8 in a day, 2.3 now, and then we're spending like that much. We're probably making 1.5 just to be optimistic about the numbers, right? So we're going up by 1.5 every hour, and it's just slow. But it's happening now, and all these buildings are linked together, so they're all kind of more efficient. So let's see what we can do. Okay then, right. So we're gonna let time fly now. We are gonna pull over to here. And I have a notepad ready, and I need to write down the ratio that we're gonna build this based on. Because ultimately I want to get the right ratio for this. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Let me just adjust my mic. I apologize that I had to do that, but I have adjusted how I was seated because I did answer the phone. So I did actually lean back, but now I'm sitting back up a bit more. Yeah. Right, so we need one antenna. 4 controllers. And we need 1 input device. So that's fine. And that goes into the motherboard. That looks pretty basic, that. Don't know why. I guess it's just because it's a simple machine. So that's the motherboard. I'm going to put that on there, on that side of the monitor. And then we also need plastic and a driver bay. That's pretty easy. So plastic times 2, driver bay. That seems simple enough. Those go into the case. Okay, like so, and then that's final assembly. Right, so let's work out how I'm going to address this now then. So what type of space have we got in here? And the post note just fell off there. Let's round that back on. There we go. Okay. I'm thinking of doing something like this. This is the kind of module I'm looking at. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to have this ramp go down. And you don't want to have ramps going down into machines directly. You want to have a conveyor. Because what I found is if you don't do that, it kind of causes a bug. And what I'm going to do here is a repeat of what we did over here. We had a splitter preside over the way this works. And then simply do that. Have 2 assemblers for that. Okay. And these 2 are just going to get told to assemble the most obvious thing, the motherboard. And then I'm going to copy this. How you do it? If I copy this bit, I should get away with it that way. And we put it... Oops, mistake on that. Let's do it again. Right. We want it to like so. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, before we go any further, I need to address the obvious. This is going to be in the way of that. So let's do that. And then this. What I could probably do actually is something to the effect of that. If I do that to here. Yeah, that's a bit better for it. That way we can really optimize our machinery. Okay, build that to there, and then I need to do that. I put that there just to get an idea of where it's going to. Okay, and then we just repeat that like so. Right, so that is the first components, like so. Now we get to address the obvious 2 plastic tube driver bays. I'm going to try and do it like we did over here the same way. So first off, I'm going to have them consolidate all onto one area. I think I'm going to do it all the way up here. So I'll have it all consolidate. Right. And while that's consolidating like that, basically, we'll do 2 and then 2. Those are going to do the same shenanigans as such up here. What I might actually do is... yeah. Do that. Right. Component assembly. It kind of implies that I only need 1 is what I'm understanding, but I don't think that is the case. No pun intended, because we're building the case here. I think it needs 2. I would assume so. Yeah. And then this is double the amount. So, right. The way I'm going to do it is if we move you over. Okay. Do that. And then as such, we just duplicate these as again. Make sure they're facing the right way. They are. And do the assemblers as such. There we go. Right. And then I'll tell these they're working on the cases. Right. And then we'll go into this and we'll say driver bays and plastic. That's going to allow for these to kind of produce at a reasonable rate. I'm not too sure that's the most efficient system we've ever done, but I mean, let's be honest, I'm not the most efficient builder of all at times, so what I'm going to do is just have it do this rather unphased connector here into a recycler, and then have it just simply Do that. And then on this one, we'll have it link into there. And then that way I can kind of just doink, and that's it. Don't know why I made the sound doink then, but you know. I guess I was trying to go for a jokey sound, but yeah. What I'll also do is I will make it upper conveyors actually on this. So what I'm going to do instead of doing that, okay, this will need a floor level. So we'll do that. Okay, there's our upper level. And then bringing that out to here. And then back down to here, like so. And that way we're kind of getting this all manufacturing setting going. Sending a machine that's invalid. Sending to a machine that's invalid. It's because this isn't told it's the final assembly. Once that's told, yeah, everything all of a sudden works like a dream all of that moments. Right, but I need to check this, and this is another problem. I need 2 assemblers, which I gathered because we've got this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go back into build mode, and we're going to adapt how this is, and it's going to probably go over 1, so do that. And I'm going to have one of these offshoots like so. And we'll have the printers, not the printers, the assemblers I should say, sorry. For those that are trying to follow along like it's a tutorial, we'll have them go like this. And then we'll follow our rule of thumb of never having it go up a level on a direct link. Right, and that actually looks perfect, that. So I did them incorrectly just so I can move that over instead of having to delete one. Laziness, really. But it does the job, laziness, sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. In this case, it did the job. Right, there we go. That is a little bit complicated, I'll admit, but is it mirrorable? That's all I care about. If I do this, it will be. Because then I can sneak in the necessary part. Okay. Right. Because that's dead in the middle then. This is going to be a bit of a tight fit. But I reckon if I grab all of this, take out the elevator, I don't need that. I might be able to flip it. No, can't. Right, what we do is we'll grab parts at a time. So we'll grab this, because this is mirrorable. Duplicate. Okay. And do a top-down review. There we go. Put that in like so. Okay, right. And then I need this to go as such. Okay. And then this is going along. Okay, hang on. Why are you saying it's inval? Is it because these aren't selected as assemblers? Okay. And then you're all saying that because you don't have... Ah, I already get it. Right, okay. So, we're going to break our rule of thumb here, and we're going to hope this works. But I know it won't, really. This in theory could work, but it will cause some issues eventually because you can't connect up straight and expect it to always work. It rarely does. So these are all going in. It's mirroring this contraption here. That is the annoying bit. So what I'm going to do is we'll mirror a step at a time. And then that way we can be certain that this is a copy of it and it's not just a mistake being built in the process. Right, those are like that. Right, and then need this junction up here to turn like this. Okay. And then I think I can copy this and get away with that if I do it right. Does that look right? It looks right. Okay. And then I think I can get away with this as well. Ooh. I don't think that's gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is... Yeah, this is a problem. So, let's take a minute. Every problem has a solution. It's working out this solution. I wonder if... Now, call me old-fashioned, but... if I'm looking at this right, and it's just these that are in the way, then there is a solution to this. What are these? Right. Build that. And then do that. Okay. Okay. A bit of odd wiring, I'll be honest. But because I still can't get at this. Which is a big issue. Like, big issue. So, give me a second, we'll work this. Because my plan is I've got rid of the end bit, which has invalidated a lot of stuff. But what I'm going to do here is we're going to compact this in, buying ourselves a bit more room. And it's going to be a bit annoying, this. We're basically... No, there's an easier way to this. There has to be. Let's see. Buy 2 of these here. I'm not going to put any of the components or parts together for this. I'm merely going to see if it's even plausible. Okay. So then what I've got to do is one of these on each side needs to stick out by 1, giving access to the machine. Okay. And then it's got to go through a recycler. So bring it all up to here. Yeah, there's a way of doing this. Right, we've worked it out. If we do this... Oh, oops. Wrong type of tier. That's going to cause an issue of its own. Right. And turn you this way. Have this ramp going down. And all this is going to do, really, it's going to go into this. It should actually go here, if I'm honest with you. Just so it lines up all alright. And then through there. Now, they should have their own... But am I modifying rooms for this? Come here. Move these down here. It has to be doable, that. Yeah, it is. Okay. If that works, then this is all inval, so let's get rid of all of that. Right. Okay, thank the Lord that actually works for a change. Okay, so we can put recyclers like so. Okay. And then I need to get some belts in here. And then here. I'm conscious that this is going to now say staff are unable to reach the machine. So what I can do for that is we move these out 1 more. Like so. that hasn't moved. Why is that? Okay. Right, okay. Let's face all these in the right way. Make sure that's all correct. And then, most importantly, do that. There we go. It's all linked in now, which is great. One last thing I need to do is have you go like that. And then the rest of these like so. Again, really? Right. Come here, I'm gonna get this all done a different way. Because I shouldn't be having this issue of changing my warehouse around just to somehow meaningfully make a difference. So there, do that. This goes up here. It is actually interceding in that. So I'll have this go back to here. Somehow, unbeknownst to me, that actually works. So I'm not complaining. If I can pull it off, I can pull it off, and I'm gonna. Okay, there we go. Right, and then do that. And do that. Once more. Right. So that's all feeded in. It is still a complex machine up there, but it works. Great. Okay. Let me favor them. I will have these all go up and then come down. Just so I know they can all be accessed. And then last but not least, on this machine, I'm going to say final assembly. There we go. So now in theory, we're going to ask them to print on... I don't care which line it's on. Let's have a look. So the Phoenix box, we can only print 72,000. I'm going to limit it to a test batch of 50,000 just to see how effective it is. So that's the goal of this month. Okay, let's let time go. And I want to see if it actually does anything. Doesn't seem to want to print. Okay, operational 100% effectiveness. Currently off. Interesting. Okay. If I allow both lines, is it gonna... Would appear not to want to print. Right. Action assign to both. Manage lines. We have two lines here that are supposedly meant to be running, but they're just not. Let's break this down and let's go in and work it out. So we're assembling the motherboards, which is what this is. That's going into here. Assembling the cases, they go into here for final assembly by these three. And then the same over there. Right. That's the wrong menu, it's this menu I wanted. Is it doing it that quickly that I'm just not seeing it? Because that goal's gone down, and I'll bite, and it might just be doing it quicker than... Yeah, I can see it now. It's doing it. Okay, how efficient are these saying they are? 100% efficiency. 50%. 99. 80. Okay, so that's telling me basically we could do more of these in theory, but we're being efficient and we're getting copies out into the last two bays on this end. So that is actually really good. Right. The Phoenix box is shipping and we're going to pause the time. And guys, we're going to wrap this episode up here with the release of Dora Fletcher expansion. gonna allow for that to get that much, and then I'll print that amount plus I'll add an 8 on the end of that. So that's the goal on that. Right. And we'll leave it at that. So guys, thank you for watching as always. I hope you did enjoy this episode, and make sure to leave some feedback in the comment section below. I hope you also enjoyed yesterday's episodes. We had 2 coming out, although one was to compensate for the audio issues, so you had some quality content nonetheless. And guys, as always, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.